Good morning, March 29th, 2023, 9 o'clock straight up on what day of the week is it? Wednesday. Windows Daily number 185 hasn't come up on screen yet for me. I'll try refreshing, see if I can get an audio confirmation. It says live. There, I got audio confirmation. Pop out chat, say hello to the peoples, and fix my picture-in-picture. That is on my list of things to talk about, why I had to even fix my picture-in-picture. Jesse Pinkman from my Fortnite friend, hello to you. And Dennis comes in with a Twitter link, and that has to do with a Fortnite status. I went and looked at that. What he's letting me know is that Fortnite says, we're aware of expiration timers on the Geralt of Rivia content in last season's Battle Pass, whether you were absent or incorrect for a short period of time. As a result, we are granting Chapter 4, Season 1, so that was last season, Battle Pass owners all rewards from Geralt of Rivia. So everybody gets a trophy. Yeah, everybody gets a trophy. All those who worked hard to earn it, you didn't have to try so hard, because we're just going to give it to everybody because we messed up. Nick Poverman comes in with, my boss approached me at lunch and growled, where the heck have you been? No, it's more like, where the heck have you been? I've been trying to find you all morning. I shrugged and said, good employees are hard to find. You got a genuine laugh out loud from me when I read that before the show. In second place, as far as the strength of my laugh out loud, is Brian Lightfoot. My wife tripped and dropped a laundry basket full of freshly ironed clothes. I watched it all unfold. Very good. Thank you, gentlemen. Carl J., hello. Selden Ball, good morning. Tim Sal, good morning. Gamers Nexus is testing new eggs, new PC Builder AI. I'm going to assume that's a artificial intelligence for selecting parts. Maybe you tell it what you want to do with the computer, and it puts together a parts list for you. Selden Ball, Catherine has nothing to worry about. It's probably not very good, I guess. For those who don't know, Catherine Anna Hauserman helps people by providing free assistance with parts lists for building their own computers. John Williams, good morning. Jesse Pinkman says, hello. Hello. All right, so I have, here's my list of topics. See, I have a script today. This is my script to follow. I just bumped my microphone, my Blue Yeti microphone. You might have heard that. So first on that list is Stereo Yeti. Doug, what the heck do you mean Stereo Yeti? Third day in a row, Ken Stout has taught me something else. I hesitate on the word taught because I don't think he was aware that he was teaching. But I've learned something by virtue of watching his content. Yesterday, when he did his live stream, after I ended my show, I was listening to him on this headset, and I heard his voice go from one ear to the other. I thought, what the heck? He has a Blue Yeti microphone. I thought that was all mono, but I was clearly hearing him in stereo. Now, at the time, he didn't have his camera turned on, so I couldn't tell where he was moving his head. So then I did some playing around with my Blue Yeti. And sure enough, it does do stereo. So let's see, I'm just looking around to see if I have another camera actually pointed at it. I don't. I have this camera down here. Well, let me do it this way. There's the Blue Yeti right there. And then if I can point this down lower, let's see, where is this? Right here. I have another webcam. I've got a webcam right here in front of me. You can't see that very well because of the mouse pad. There, you can see it. I got a webcam right in front of me. Doug, what are you doing with that webcam there? Well, that's later on the script. I can't tell you about that yet.
I'm not sure I understand.
That's because I wasn't talking to you. I don't know what woke her up. Okay, so where was I? Oh, the stereo. Yeah, so catch this. If you're listening on a stereo device, you should be able to hear this. I'm going over to your right ear now. Here you should be hearing me in your right ear. And if I go over this way, you should be hearing me in your left ear. This is your left ear if you're listening on a stereo device. Doug, how did you do that? Well, I'm going to come over to this. Oh, my buttons. That's later on my list to show you what's going on with my buttons today. Let's see, where did I have that? Oh, let's see. I guess, I had to restart my computer since I had that. So I'll have to go back here to my pinned bookmarks to bring up this thing on the Blue Yeti microphone. I'm going to scroll down here and show you what the dials on the Blue Yeti look like. This is what they look like on the back. There's a gain knob and there's a pattern knob. And these different patterns do different things. I want to point your attention to this one and this one. I used to think that this one was indicate the sound would be picking up from the front and the back of the microphone. This one would be picking up from the sides of the microphone, just to pick up the audio there. But I didn't realize that one of these is stereo. So if we scroll down here, we see that this one that has the overlapping links is the stereo setting, which I currently have the Blue Yeti set on. Previously, I had it set on cardioid because that was to pick up the audio from the front. So now when I move my head around from one side to the other, you should be able to see me traveling from one ear to the other. Does anybody care about that? Probably not. But I was entertained about finding that. Now let's go back here and see what else we got. Speedy C, hello. Ken Stout, so no more live, unrehearsed, unscripted, right? Yeah. Well, that doesn't mean no more. That means today is scripted because I've got me a script. I'm reading that word for word, right? Is that really a script? Or is it a bullet point list? Bobby says, hello, watch check. Yeah, that was my watch from what's her name. Oh, I had a problem with my cell phone this morning too. Usually it's my cell phone that tells me it's time to get up out of bed. I was already awake. And time was drifting on and on and on. I thought, gee, it seems kind of long now. So I asked my smart speaker. Notice I didn't say her name. I asked my smart speaker what time it was, and it was 10 minutes past the time for me to wake up. Oh no, I must have left my cell phone downstairs. So I go get all ready for the day, come down in here into the studio, and my cell phone's not here on its charging dock. So then I start going around the house calling out, hey, and her name. I'm not going to say her name. Trying to find her. And I finally found her right next to where I sleep. The phone was there, right next to my bed. But the battery had worn all the way down. Apparently I was watching videos last evening off of my cell phone battery and never thought to recharge it. Bobby Warren, let's see. So Selden Ball, stereo works. He heard it. Tim Sal, that is cool. I hear you in stereo at work. Do my headphones. Due to my headphones. Ken Stout to me, let me toss my headphones on and see if that works. Can you repeat that process? Yeah, let's see. Did he already? Okay, I'm ready to do this. He says down lower. So here I go to your right ear, and if you're hearing me in your left ear right now, that means you have the headset on backwards. And then here I should be in your left ear. You should be hearing me in your left ear now. All right, then. Let's see. Bobby and Ken saying hello. Nick Poverman, I have to take a client's call. I'll see you next time. This is going to take a while. I'll see you later, Nick. Thank you. Bobby, Warren, Ken, my cable and internet is out. I called again? Isn't this multiple times? My cable and internet is out. I called Cox. They told me it's the wire from my street to my house. Yeah, that's what they wound up replacing to me, and it apparently fixed the problem. There we got that symptom again with that menu showing up on the right just because I clicked there. And if I click on any of the others, then I get that menu for that item. And then I know on the Ken Stout live show last night, somebody pointed out, well, if you go to participants and then back, no, as soon as I click on it, they said participants menu, then left arrow. Now you get back here, but as soon as you click on any one of these, that menu shows up again. So going to participants and back here does not prevent that from coming up. The problem is, why is that coming up in the first place? That's what is wrong. And that's about what, third or fourth on my list of things that are just broken today because of software and YouTube and Fortnite and Stream Deck and OBS. They've all messed with me today. That's why my list is so long. Let's see. Did I skip anything? Client's call, cable and internet out. Ken ready to do this. And he didn't tell. Oh yeah, there he says, thanks, it works. Zvi Minor, you're like Carrie, usually not reading the manual before using a device. That's right. And that is exactly, Zvi, what I told myself when I discovered that yesterday, because I went tinkering around with those knob settings, and that is what I deduced, is that one of those settings like that was front and back, and the other was side to side without reading the manual. You're absolutely right. Brian Lightfoot laughs about that comment. Ken, Bobby Warren, you need to move out of Florida. I don't need to, Ken. They're bickering at each other, fighting at loggerheads. Is that a thing? Use that word? All right, so then what's next on my list? Alex, Zoom shortcut. That was a thing last night on the Ken Stout show. Now, I didn't practice or rehearse demonstrating this, but the question came up because what happened is Alex kind of, trolls Ken sometimes, and Ken puts Alex into the waiting room. And then when Ken has had enough and he removes Alex from the session, then Alex can't come back in. So what Alex does is he signs into his other Zoom account, and he can get in that way. And they all knew that what was going on and was expected. But the thing that they talked about was that Alex was making the point that he has to go into a browser incognito mode in order to accomplish that. And he had to go look up the credentials. Because if he just clicks his shortcut on the desktop, it's not going to work. It's going to go in as his account name that has been removed. Hang on. Talking about Alex is a very emotional subject for me, and I just get all choked up. And Alex is trying to get across the point that he can't just do the credentials from here. He had to go look up the credentials. Well, what happens is when you launch that from the desktop, it's going to launch whatever your default app is for Zoom meetings. So this is trying to open Zoom meetings. It looks like this is going to open into the web. If you click open, then let's see, where is it coming up for me? Is it coming up for me? I think that's coming up over here. Gives me a video preview here. And it is automatically going into the account that I have the Zoom app signed into. So when Alex wants to come in under his other account, he has to go into an in private window. I suppose probably he maneuvers to, he navigates to, is the right word, to zoom.us and then signs in with his other account name. And here he's free to put in the email address associated with his other account name. So in regards to that little disagreement that was going on yesterday, I am on Alex's side. How about that? Did I lose a lot of subscribers by saying that? Are you jumping off the bandwagon? Because I sided with Alex on that. That works. Bobby want to move. Don't need to know. The guy is out now. Don't know what that means. Oh, the guy is out. The technician is already. Man, Bobby, I've said this before. Things just happen really fast for you. You tell us something's going to happen, and just boom, during the live stream in progress, you get your results. Kenny to Bobby, just say no to Cox Cable. They're terrible in Louisiana too. Brian, not even necessary to go to the participants to get rid of the extraneous menu. Just click anywhere on the white space to the right of the words top chat. Okay, so here I click and get that To the right of the words Top Chat. Oh, that's even better. That's even better. Yeah, any way to get it away from there, but that does not solve the problem. Why does that menu come up when I click in the text part? It should only be clicking when that menu should only pop up when I do the kebab menu. 3-dot menu, kebab menu, it works. When you click out here, it used to be the case that I could triple click in here and highlight words, and that menu was not popping up. I'm so confident of that. Am I wrong? Has it always been popping up when I've been trying to highlight people's comments? I don't think it was. I want that menu to stop popping up. Seems like every other hour. Oh, it's Ken. Do you have a show today? I didn't look before starting my show. Seems like every other hour or every other day you lose your. Oh, last night you said you were going to have a show today. It seems like every other hour, every other day you lose your internet. Just saying, I would be moving. It was an outage, usually not an outage at this time. Now, it could be all of the troubles that he's had, and then a fix comes in, has never solved the problem because the actual problem is the cable from that comes to his house. And that was always the actual source of the trouble. So all these additional problems he's had, that may not be additional problems. It may just be repeats of the original problem. It was outage. Usually it's not an outage this time. It was an outage usually. It's not an outage this time. So usually it's been an outage. Okay, that supports Ken's reasoning that you should move. And I think that's an excessive solution. Kenny, I usually like Cox. Alex choked up comment. Kenny, nothing but horror stories in Baton Rouge area. Poor Alex. Good morning from Jeff. So now, have I actually reached the end? I'm not totally believing that I'm at the end of the comments. No, when I look over at my other monitoring screen, I am not. I do not see all the comments here. I don't have an arrow. How about if I switch to live chat? Do I get the rest of them? Yes, I do. No, it's a recent thing. Yes, there's a show scheduled. Good morning from Rick. I don't remember the menu popping up until a few days ago. Agreed. So everyone's agreeing that this is a recent thing. Rick Lakes, hello. It's also on my computer. Maybe YouTube made a change. Yeah, apparently everybody on Ken's show was having the same symptom. So it's not unique to the person doing the broadcast. So let's go over and put the fix in for Ken's show. You know how to do that. Go to the YouTube studio, click edit on the current show, go to customization, scroll down, redirect, click add, click on the search videos from other channels. And there's the only one here with Ken Stout showing at 9:30 my time, 9:30 Doug time. And let's see, there was something else. Oh, yeah, let's see. What this says, concurrent viewers, 19, views 28. Is that the same thing that YouTube is saying? 21 watching now. How about if I refresh this page? If I refresh this page, it says 21 watching now. It brings the chat back in here, but it's still popped out. I can still Alt-Tab back to the popped out chat, and it should still be live. Click on your name at the bottom or in response line. Okay, so that would be another way. Click down here. Yeah, that makes it go away. But then again, as soon as I click on one and try to triple click it. Now, if I go click down here, I lose my highlight. See, I like to keep the highlight on so I can find it. In order to keep the highlight on, that menu has to continue displaying. Not good. Recent on the pop-out deal to, let's see, recent on the pop-up, pop-out deal to clarify. Recent, I don't know. I don't get that. Recent on the pop-up, pop-out deal to clarify. I don't understand that one at all. Hello, Alan Barsness. So what's next on my list? Let's see. I talked about Alex's shortcut, then Stream Deck. Notice Stream Deck is on there twice. The reason why it's on there twice is when I went upstairs, I realized, oh yeah, I got to remember to tell them about Stream Deck. I came back downstairs and wrote Stream Deck, and then noticed, oh, I already covered that. That's a memory thing. So Stream Deck is next. What's wrong with Stream Deck? Well, this is my story about updates. This morning, well, for several days, I've been postponing an update to Stream Deck. And remember back a while ago, I had to install an older version of XSplit because of a problem that I was having. It looks to me now that both of those has forced update themselves without me clicking OK. I think it's both of them because Stream Deck is behaving differently today. And when I go check for updates on Stream Deck, it says I'm up to date because I did that today when I discovered there's a problem with it. When I launched XSplit today, Ken, shut up. He's going to say, OBS. I use OBS. You know that on Fortnite. And Ken, you also complain about OBS. No software product. I've never met a software product that's perfect. Or a hardware product for that matter. Or drivers. It's a wonder anything works for us. And for me, because I got so much oddball stuff going on here. But back to my story. XSplit. When I launched it this morning, it gave me this message about this neat new thing they gave me, and then XSplit opened up and all of my scenes were gone. All of my sources were gone. Well, it loaded a default, what do they call it? A default presentation. Your collection of scenes and sources and such can be saved as a presentation, and I can load a different presentation. So they gave me a default that had 4 scenes defaulted, which had no sources in them. So I just went to the file menu, load presentation, and loaded my normal presentation. But now let me show you what Stream Deck is doing. Here's Stream Deck. What's wrong with that, Doug? That looks fine with me. You got a bunch of buttons. Well, all of my buttons had been set up with these letters, these words that tell me what that button is. Now you see these ones that are lit up, they're showing a name. Here's one that's not lit up showing a name. Well, I can press this one without changing the scene so you can see what happens. I press that and it's lit. Now if I press this one, it's going to show me a name. And then if I come up here, this one will show me a name. But I lost the name on that one. So these two seem to be kind of mutually exclusive. So the only way I can select buttons, well, I have to know what they do. I can only do certain buttons now because if I press my face camera or if I press my screen number 1, screen number 2, screen number 3 button, then you're no longer going to be seeing the Stream Deck. But this is what's wrong with my Stream Deck now. What the heck? You're messing with me, people. Now this one here is going to bring me back to my face cam. So, yeah. Next topic. The Stream Deck is already up to date. Do I revert it back, try to revert it back to an older one? Or do I go in and redo the configuration of all those? Let's see, I can bring that up, right? I can show you on number 1 here, screen number 1. If I go click on Stream Deck, that'll open it up. And you can see that when I click on this, I can see down here what the title of that one is. If I click on this one, the title's completely missing. But if I click the button on the Stream Deck, which you're not seeing me do right now, my finger's on the button here, I'm pressing it in 3, 2, 1, 0. Now the name shows up there, but it doesn't show up down here. Now what if I go back here? See, it shows up there now. But when I click on this one, the name doesn't show up. If I actually click on that button on the Stream Deck, the name shows up here. Now, if I click back here and then click back, I'm telling you that the name's going to show up. So the name is there. Are you kidding me, people? This has got to be something that they just messed up with this update. They're probably going to find out about it because of people complaining, not me. If I complained about every anomaly that I find in software or hardware, I wouldn't have time to do my work. Jeez, how does this stuff work for us at all? I don't know. So what's missing on my list that I haven't talked about yet? USB detach. This is another topic that I picked up by watching somebody else's YouTube channel. Just so happened it was a Ken Stout live show. Because Ken Stout had an experience yesterday that I've had many, many times. You're just a novice for not having this experience before, Ken. I have so much USB stuff going on with this computer, and so much USB techniques that I'm not supposed to be doing, such as these USB cables running along the wall. They go all around the length of the wall. I'm trying to show you them mounted against the wall there. That's so dark there, you can hardly see it. I have really long USB cables. You're not supposed to do that. Some of those USB cables are powered, some of them are not. I have a massive number of devices. I'm not sure if I got 4 or 5 cameras, connected, 2 different capture devices, way more stuff than you're supposed to have. Now, this hasn't happened for a while, but I've had it in the past where I would hear that USB detach, chirp, bloop, blurp, whatever you want to call it. And then sometimes it would come right back. The attaching blurp, bloop, chime, whatever you want to call it. And I wouldn't see any devices that weren't working. No monitors that weren't working, although sometimes they were. Back when I was putting in all of those long extensions, I found that I had to poke around, try things on different USB ports on the computer. Now, some of you that enjoy the technical things about the motherboards more than I do, you know that USB ports are typically 2 ports sharing one USB channel, hub, whatever they call it. Oh, I can bring it up in Device Manager, can't I? If I go to Device Manager, USB ports share resources. I think it's 2 USB ports. See all these USB hubs, and then these super USB hubs, and then USB composite devices, USB root hub. Some of these I think are referring to specific ports, and some of them are referring to a USB channel. So I think it's something along the lines of your 2 devices that are connected to one USB channel, how much power are they drawing? If they're drawing near the maximum capability of that port, then they may occasionally disconnect or reconnect. It could be an issue with the hardware device itself that it occasionally disconnects and reconnects, or something that's flaky about the cable. Not all USB cables are the same in capability or quality. There are differences. So if you have something that's detaching regularly and you can identify which device it is, then the thing to do is to switch your USB cables around different ports. If it's only very rare and it's not causing you any trouble, I say ignore it. Let it do its thing with disconnecting and reconnecting, and don't sweat it unless it's causing you trouble, interfering with your work, and then start swapping cables around to different ports or investigating drivers. It's possible that not all drivers for your devices are automatically updating, because not all hardware providers are paying the money to Microsoft to include their updates in Windows Update. Also, they may issue an update to fix a problem that's happening with a device and not push that out as an update, even if they are paying the money to Microsoft, because they have not tested it thoroughly enough. They know it will fix this one problem that's happening to some small percentage of their users. So they don't want to push that out to everybody because it might have some other side effects. So you won't find it until you go to their website and look for some updated driver. You might even have to contact their tech support before you're offered that new driver, because it's not thoroughly tested enough for them to even put it on their website. So because that can be difficult to track down and figure out which is having the problem, is it worth you spending your time? Now, you also might go into Event Viewer and see if there's any notifications in there about what connected or disconnected. When you hear that chime, Ken, make a note of the time, then go look into your Event Viewer or get your Zoom homies to help you with doing that if you don't know how to do that yourself. So here's my email address. It's less than a minute to go before Ken's show. I'm about to send you in this stream and send you over to Ken. If you want to send me a question to respond to during one of these live shows or the Saturday show, use that email address, a comment on any video, or in the chat room. And I'm not up to date with chat, so I'm going to go read it after I end the live stream. Have a great day. Catch you later. Goodbye.